That is
acting.
crazy that you're saying these things because I'm like, have you been watching my life? Like, what's going on? But I kind of like it to just like roast like onions and oil and then use just chili powder and just get
Nice.
into it, you know? Then we had like a fixed location
Yeah.
and with the location we could create sets and create storylines and
Yeah.
honestly the music video it's giving high budget even though it's very low.
Perfect. Welcome back to Unsigned Berlin. I'm sat here today with Blazey, previous winner of Initiative Musik Scholarship. You had the album Kwame come out in
Kwame, yeah.
Nice. In August 2022. You've been involved with initiatives like Dudes with Roots and with Black Aspiring Creators, which is, I believe, run by Gary Godson,
Exactly, yeah.
previous guest. And you have new music coming out this month, which we're going to listen to a little snippet of right now.
Desire comes alive, I'm manifesting. Won't justify this who I am, and that's my magic. I got nothing to lose.
And that was Nothing to Lose by Blazey. When we were just listening to it before, my immediate thought was the comparison to the like Grace Jones dance remixes, and you were saying that was a big inspiration.
Mm-hmm.
Was that something? When did Grace Jones as an artist become something that you knew about? Because for me, it was like through my dad, but I feel like that's a weird, like an unusual place to get it from. But she's not like everywhere on my internet, at least.
Mm-hmm.
How did you get into Grace Jones?
I think just in general, like through different artists, you know, like, or at least because I've been making music for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
So people would always give their little recommendations. And I think visually, Grace Jones has always been like inspiring because like the iconic covers and the iconic visuals and the looks is just very like, wow.
Yeah.
And then also like Beyonce dropped an album where Grace Jones was like featured as well. So it's
On
like
the
Renaissance.
Oh, I didn't.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah. So
Was that? This is also a lot dancier and also Scorpio Eyes,
yeah,
which
yeah.
was a lot dancier than Kwame, which
Yeah.
came out 2 years ago. In that time, were you making a conscious decision to change where you're going with it?
Mhm.
What was that inspired by?
So I think initially it was inspired just by the things I kind of listened to at that time because I moving to Berlin, like I just changed a lot.
Yeah.
And changing as a person, I feel like you also change in what you listen. Like
Yeah, definitely.
you know, and I don't know. I've been in the ballroom scene, and I've been listening to a bunch of like dance, house, and just like yeah, 90s dance music, and that inspired me, and I felt like okay, now it's the time to kind of go into this direction because
Cool.
this is something that I listen to and dance to and feel. So why not make it?
Yeah. You said in an interview there was like SoundCloud and Black Aspiring Creators that moving to Berlin, you kind of found out for yourself what being an artist was.
Yeah.
What did you mean by that? What is being an artist for you?
Ooh, okay. You're coming hot with the questions. Oh, okay. I think so. Being an artist to me really means like to create. I think being an artist is like creating something. And I think creating is something spiritual. So I feel like it goes hand in hand. So I feel like being an artist to me is like keeping up this spiritual connection in a way, like this thing of creating something out of nothing. I think that is so beautiful.
Yeah.
And I think as an artist, it's like my job to understand and then make other people understand and just realize that everything is connected. I think that is art. Because when you see a picture, right, you don't know what the artist really went through when creating that. But then you look at it and it gives you a feeling. And I feel like that is the connection. At least to me. So
You also Kwame, which came out it's not quite 2 years, but it's a big gap in terms of release and then developing into something new, which I really like to see in artists that I follow of like this is a new sort of era.
Exactly.
And Kwame was much more grounded in your Togolese roots.
Exactly.
And this feels less like that. I think. Was that a decision in terms of artist growth being like, I want to debut this with something that is based on my roots and then document a journey? Or did it just kind of happen naturally? Then you were like, oh, this is.
No, actually, it was quite like that. So
Mhm.
when I decided to go and because before that, before Kwame, I actually did like really pop songs, like
Mhm.
very pop, and it was like with a different artist name.
Mhm.
And so when I finally decided to just do what I personally want and what is on my heart, I started with the foundation because I grew up very African, like very
Mhm.
Togolese, and you know, waking up and just going somewhere in the car with my mom, we would always listen to African songs, just
Really?
Togolese songs, and so it's like a foundation. And I kind of wanted to explore that. I wanted to explore my African roots as an artist and
Mhm.
see where I fit in sonically
Right.
and what I can do. And now with this era, it's more like discovering my queer side,
Mhm.
discovering who I am as a queer person sonically. And I
Right.
think that's why the dance, the 90s, the Vogue and everything, it's all part of who I am
Mhm.
and like what I can explore and where I can go. So
Nice.
yeah, who knows? Maybe in 2 years it's gonna be rock and this is my
Yeah.
kind of like just being angry era. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. The doing a first project is hard for lots of reasons. First, you probably aren't great as a musician yet in terms of like doing the whole rollout, and it's like it's the first try. Um, but you did get funding through Initiative Musik, which
Mm-hmm.
takes out the other really big hard thing, which is money.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that allowed you to do more of that kind of exploration of African music? And you think without that you would have just stuck with straight pop?
Definitely not. I think it just came out like because the
Mm-hmm.
thing is I went so before even like applying for funding I was already creating music and
Mm-hmm.
I was already working with Nicholas Graf, who is like a German-based producer.
Yep.
And it was really random the way we kind of met. We went to a friend, to
Mm-hmm.
one of my best friends actually, and it was really, we were just trying stuff out, and I was actually still at a label at that time and thinking of like just leaving because I was like, it's not really working. We're not really matching. And then we were just making music. And at some point, it kind of like we realized it's going more into the Afrobeats direction, into the like
Mm-hmm.
Afro pop. And it was like subconscious
Right.
because I feel like also when you make music, it's mostly subconscious. It's
Mm-hmm.
like, to me, like making music is like diary, at
Right.
least like writing songs. You tell a story, you tell like you express how you feel in that moment,
Mm-hmm.
and then tomorrow it might be a different feeling,
Yeah.
but then it's like, wow, that day I remember this is what I wanted to, this is how I felt, and this is what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
So to get back to your question, I feel like it helped, like it helped in terms of not worrying about how to pay for things,
Yeah.
but then at the same time, because I have big dreams,
Mm-hmm.
so and also visually I want to, like, I just want to inspire visually. So for me to do that, it does take some budget.
Mm-hmm.
So it was kind of like a balance of, having people that believed in me and were like, okay, I'm gonna do it for a low budget because
Right.
I trust in the process and because I see that there's potential.
Yeah.
But as it was also like, I wish I could just pay someone to do it and not have to beg for it in a way.
Yeah.
But I guess that's part of the journey.
Yeah. It's part of the first step of being able to get to the point where you can
Yeah.
then pay people. I'd like to take a moment to thank our sponsors at 12 by 12. Having a budget for your music is one of the biggest hurdles to overcome as an independent artist, and with 12 by 12, you can get your gamer royalties a whole year ahead of time. Just go to 12 by 12, input your royalties, and see the potential payout. That's TWLVXTWLV.com to get an advance on your gamer royalties and finance your year in music. 12 by 12, liquidity for musicians. When you release music, making sure your fans can find it and listen is the number one priority. Soundplate Clicks helps you create landing pages and smart links that will bring people through to actually listen. With Soundplate Clicks, you can create perfect landing pages for your releases, even include a direct add to playlist button, email capture, or links to your merch. Turn your link in bio into a sleek, professional pit stop with a super easy to use interface that takes away any learning curve. Launch pre-save campaigns in minutes. Not just that, with SoundPlate clicks, you can also gain valuable insights into who is clicking on your links, something you cannot do with similar sites or with a free plan. For those serious about taking their music to the next level, the Pro plan is only €20 per month. Upgrading to Pro allows access to premium features, advanced analytics, extra branding options, and much, much more. To easily set up your first music smart links, go to click.soundplate.com and use code UNSIGNED for 50% off your first payment when you choose to upgrade. That's SoundPlate Clicks, making your music promotion hassle-free. Don't forget to use the code UNSIGNED for 50% off your first payment when you upgrade. Thinking of the sort of writing as a diary, that type of thing, are you usually improvising when you're coming up with lyrics and stuff, or do you have a concept in mind usually when you start a song?
It's always different.
Mm-hmm.
So usually if I have a piano, I just go and play some chords, and then I kind of let the music speak to me. Because sometimes also as a producer, when you produce something and there's an artist in the room and hears the music, whatever you produced is a feeling. Yeah. And then you hear that, and somehow words come and lyrics come or melodies come, and they mirror the feeling that's in the track, at least to me. So sometimes it's very freestyle, but sometimes, like, I remember the first time I really came up with a concept was when I was walking up the stairs. So I was like in the city and I was walking up the stairs, and somehow it smelled like the cologne of my father. Oh. Yeah, I know, it's super random. And the thing is, my father left us when I was 1. So it was like
so it's super like deep memory.
Yes. So I was walking up and I was like, oh my God, it smells like my father. And then somehow I just wrote down the title, Father's Cologne. And then a couple of days later, I went to the piano and I started conceptualizing the song and kind of like talking about, like, all that's left is the cologne of my father as a memory, And so it's like always different. Like sometimes the concepts come to me, like I see something, and then I just put out my phone and write it in the docs, to remember.
Is it just pages of like disorganized notes, or do you have some way to organize it?
Honestly, I'm quite organized because artists are usually all over the place, but I feel like I was forced to be organized just because I currently don't have a management and everything. So I'm like, okay, let me get into my managing back in a way, But I have like a document where it's just like ideas. So it's just like, I don't know, 3 words or like a title or just a line. And then usually if there's already a concrete thing, then I just create an extra doc for that.
Right. And now you're songwriting with BMG. You're being brought in to work on projects that aren't your own.
Yeah.
Have you found it like, what have the new skills been that you've had to sort of teach yourself to be able to deal with that?
Okay, so I think one thing that really kind of surprised me was like realizing that songwriting, yes, it's a lot about like tapping into emotions and understanding music, but a lot of times it's also like understanding people and like reading the rooms. Because it's like sometimes you can have the most talented people in the room, but if the energy isn't aligned, like if people are just not vibing with each other, you can tell and you can hear it in the music. Yeah. And that's something I had to learn because I'm usually, when I come into a session or into a room, I'm an observer. Like I sit down and I look around and I'm like, okay. And then when I feel comfortable, that's when I'm like, hey, what's good? What's up? So because I'm just like, okay, let's just see. And some people, they're like coming in and they don't really care. They're just taking up the space, and which is also really fun because then I can observe. I can just, I don't have to entertain. I can just be and see, and then give my little. So I think, that was kind of like where I realized, wow, I have to be. It's more of like a personal, like a conversational thing rather than a like creative thing. Yeah, in sessions at least.
Are there any specific moments you feel like from doing that songwriting work where you feel like it's changed your approach to songwriting and your artist work?
Yes. I feel like the moment it became a job, I also treated it like such.
Mm.
So I was like, when I get an idea, write it down. You have, because it's like I have the possibility to go into the session the next day and really
Yeah.
work on the song. Like now it's not like, yeah, let's see if I get a studio time somewhere. Now it's more like tomorrow I can write a song. It could even bring me money. It
Yeah.
could even get connections. So it's like it's a job now.
Mm-hmm.
But it doesn't feel like one, but I can treat it like such and I can reap the benefits out of it, you know?
Yeah.
So it definitely changed my approach, and I think it also made just made the process easier, because if you do something like consistently,
Mm-hmm.
it becomes easier and it becomes like part of you.
Yeah, it's a
So
muscle to train.
exactly.
Yeah.
So I'm realizing like the more I do it, the better I get, and I've been really kind of shocked about the creativity that I am able to express.
Mm.
And so I'm like really intrigued, because I'm like, there's so much more to explore,
Yeah.
you know? Yeah.
Cool. In terms of doing all your own management, doing
Mm-hmm.
like scheduling releases and rollouts, which is not even the worst part of it, dealing with,
Yeah.
I mean, it's great what Gamer does, but dealing with them, it's like, it's difficult, just this
Mm-hmm.
like paperwork and everything that has to go into it. Um, is there anything that you feel like you've really gotten good at now where you're like, this is, I can do? And is there
Mm-hmm.
anything that is, you're just like waiting for someone to please
Oh my
take over
God.
it for you?
That's okay. So actually where I'm at right now
Mm-hmm.
at the moment is I notice I can bring people together,
Right.
especially creatives. Like
Mhm.
if I have a vision, I know who to bring together to make this vision come to life.
Yeah.
And over the course of time, I noticed that this is what I'm good at, especially when it comes to visual concepts and stuff.
Yeah.
And also with the Nothing to Lose music video, it's
Mm-hmm.
one of the best music videos I've done so far.
Nice.
And
Scorpio Eyes was very, very good music video.
thank
They're super
you.
well done.
Thank you. And that's what I mean. You know, I'm
Mhm.
like, I always try to
Level up.
level up, you know,
Mhm.
and Scorpio Eyes, I must say, it was exhausting. Like that, the whole planning, like even on set, I was kind of like responsible for the extras as well. So I was like shooting a scene, and then I was running to the extras talking about, yeah, okay, what outfit do you have? And
Mhm.
so it was like I couldn't really let go and be an artist. I had to
Yeah.
be everything at once, which is okay, because it is what it is.
Mhm.
But I feel like it was also a little bit like, damn, if I just could have just for this day,
Yeah.
just be an artist, I think things would have turned out a little bit better.
Mhm.
But I'm not living in regret. I'm just realizing, okay, this is how it is, and so I'm learning to appreciate how it will be when I have a management.
Nice.
But one thing I really want to let a management just
Mhm.
do it is just like email stuff
Yeah.
and just like paperwork and like reaching out to people, and you know,
Mhm.
like I literally just want to go in the studio, make music.
Just make music, not
Yeah,
yeah,
and
be a
like,
manager.
you
Yeah.
know, like I realized like last year just planning a lot of stuff. Most of my time I spent in a cafe, you
Right.
know, just being on the laptop, and
Yeah.
it's just like, no, that's not for me.
Nice. For Scorpio Eyes, where did you shoot that?
Oh my God, it was in a club. It was
Mhm.
in a club where the director was working at.
Oh,
So
okay.
that was we were really lucky to get
That
for
was my
getting.
next question is how did they let you
Yeah.
do that?
Honestly, everything is so, I feel like when you have a big dream,
Mhm.
the whole universe will make sure it aligns for it to work out. Because even like me starting to have the first ideas for Scorpio Eyes as a music video was so random. I had a session in a studio that I never worked before. So I went there, and at the door, like there was like this big ass QR code, and it
Mhm.
was like, scan me. And I was like,
Yeah. It's
You
like
know?
Alice in the Wonderland, but
Yeah.
2021.
Yeah. And it was like, I was already thinking, okay, I have this song now. I want to create a music video. How should I go about it? And then this QR code said, like, do you want a free music video?
Oh.
Exactly. And I was like, of course. And then, and then I scanned it. And then I kind of texted, because it was a director who was like actually just wanting to create a music video for her thesis or something.
Right.
So she was still a student. And I texted her, I wrote, hey, I'm this artist and this is a song and da-da-da. She was like, unfortunately, I already have someone and this was like 2 weeks ago. And then 2 days later, she was like, actually, I canceled the artist. I would really love for us to work together. I love the song. And to me, that was kind of like, what? Oh my God. So it's always like really random. Like a lot of things just happen and like it works in your favor and you're just like, oh my God, you know? And even with the music video From Nothing to Lose, you know, like I was kind of like, what is the concept? What should I do? Really confused. And then this one time working at a cafe, you know, like just trying to get email stuff done, a friend of mine invited me to this co-working space that I've never been before. And I went there and it looked like out of a movie scene. Like every rooms were different and like crazy. And I said, what the fuck is this? And how do I just know of it now? You know? And I literally said, oh, this would be the perfect space for a new music video. And then I reached out to the Lincoln Co. Host, like manager, and she was like, yeah, sure. Let's collaborate. I'll give you the space for free. And you just have to do pictures and like post them on the gram.
Yeah, and have clips to promote their stuff.
Exactly. But I'm like, I would have done it anyways. Now I'm just going to tag you, you know? So it's like, I'm like, oh, because that also got the concept rolling. Because then I was like, because then we had like a fixed location. And with the location, we could create sets and create storylines. And honestly, the music video, it's giving high budget, even though it's very low.
With Scorpio Eyes, also relatively low budget.
Yeah, actually, that was my first video that I really paid by myself.
Damn.
Yeah.
It looks like, high budget as well.
Yeah?
It's the lighting and the camera work is all really good.
Thank you.
Yeah. With that, what was the like starting seed of the idea? Was it you, or was it working with the director? Or I would assume it's the eyes that come up, but then they come up kind of late, so it's like
True. I think it was both. Like the director and I, we were really like on the phone almost every night trying to figure out how to tell the story. And like I came with my ideas and then Marie came with hers, you know, and she was just like, okay, see, this is how I see it. And then she made a crazy, like, how do you say it? Like a mood board thing. Like really, really well. And I was like, this is how I saw it. And it's crazy that you can put it out like visually. But it's usually a collaboration. Like I have some ideas, they have some ideas, and then we just master it.
Nice.
Yeah.
When you talk about a co-working space for the upcoming or just released music video?
No, upcoming, yeah.
No, I mean by the time this is coming out.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know.
Okay, yeah, true.
Is when I hear co-working space, I think of like an office. Is that kind of what it is? But then lots of different. I mean, you don't have to say it as well.
No.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. I think it's like a conceptualized co-working space.
Right.
You know, it's not a typical you sit down and everyone is on the laptop, but it's like everything. You know, they sell stuff on the bottom floor and they have a cafe, and then there's like a car in the store in the back. I know, because they also do like car sharing.
Crazy. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's like very conceptualized, which is actually perfect for me because I feel like it mirrors who I am as an individual. Like every corner, there's something new to explore and discover. So I felt like it was a perfect match, actually. And I think just the way it was set up, it was there to give you a feeling of like, what the fuck is this? And why do I love it? You know, like why, like I want to come again and I want to I want to get inspired, you
Cool.
know? Yeah.
Multifaceted art forms, visually very oriented. Obviously, lyrically, songwriting is your main focus, and you do production as well. You also do modeling and fashion, which
Yeah.
you go, but you have like some pretty good credits.
Okay, yeah.
How did you get into that?
I don't really know. Honestly, I don't really know. I also don't, like, when people say modeling, it's just like, I feel like that's part of being an artist. At least for me, like, because where I want to go, I do want to go into a more of a pop artist vibe, more of a pop star feeling. So I think growing up for me, I always saw that and I was just mimicking that because I'm like, this is where I want to go. So why
It's
not?
like what people do.
Exactly, that's what people do. So I guess it just happened. And honestly, for me, I never really considered myself a model because I'm like, I do like to pose and just be like, I like fashion.
But it's like fun. It's
fun. It's not like where I'm like, okay, I gotta look good now, you know? But I definitely love fashion, and I've always expressed myself through clothes because I feel like if I'm not singing or speaking, then just my presence already says what I want to, you know, like that's how I express myself. And I remember when I was like really young and I was going to school, like I would almost be late every day just because I wanted my outfit to be on point. Yeah, and it actually got me into troubles. Like really, like the last year of school, my how you say that, like the
like teacher or the head head principal, I guess.
The principal was like, if you're late one more time, you're gonna be kicked out. I said, oh my, and it's like my final year.
But have you seen what I'm wearing?
Right, like get into the drip, like come on. But it's crazy because the first year it was like new school and I was kind of nervous, but I was like, okay, I'm gonna just express myself, you know? And I remember like after the second week, I had like, because it was like, there were like four grades. Do you say, 4 grades? Yeah. And so like I was like the lowest, kind of like the new. And the people who were there for 4 years already, they came up to me and were like, hey, you're so cool. We love your outfit. And I felt like, oh my God, I'm a star, you know? So yeah, so I feel like fashion has always brought me this confidence. Yeah.
Are there any other parts of your creativity that are more behind the scenes in terms of whether you like to write, like creative writing or cooking or anything like that?
Cooking.
Nice. What do you like to cook?
I like to recreate like the dishes my mom does, but like do it in my way, you know? Because I feel like over time you expand and you experience new things and you're like, oh, let me take this spice and add it here and see what it's gonna give. So this is where I'm being creative, I feel like. And yeah, my mom is an amazing cook. Like she is really, and I feel like everyone says that about their mom, but she's really like exceptional. It's like really good. And like I have friends literally coming to me and being like, has your mom cooked? Or like, is this the special sauce of your mom and stuff, you know? So I definitely, that was also one thing where I'm like, okay, cooking is something that's so easy, but still hard at the same time. And I don't know, to me, I never had recipes. So I just go with the feeling.
Is your mom in Berlin?
No, she lives in Munich.
If you were to visit, what would be your go-to meal to cook for her?
Oh, okay. It's called aimolu, and it's rice with beans, with like black-eyed beans. And oh my God, we used to eat it every Sunday before going to church, and it was kind of like a tradition almost.
Right.
And it's so funny because I have 4 siblings, and all of them say the same thing. Every time we come to visit my mom, it's like, put on the stove, baby. We want that aimolu, you know? And it's like, and she knows, so she...
How do you do the beans?
You have to... Oh, you tested me? Are you
No,
testing?
just like out of curiosity for myself.
So you have to put it in a bowl and like kind of soak them in water for like 45 minutes and then, or even longer, and then cook them. And then when they're kind of soft, you add the rice and you add like some salt and some like, I don't know, natron or something, and like a little bit oil to give them the color.
Right.
Like that's how we do it in Togo at least. And there's different ways to eat it with, but I kind of like it to just like roast like onions and oil and then use just chili powder and just get into it, you know?
Sounds good.
It's really good.
Do you have go-to like an album or playlist to put on while you're cooking?
Actually, I usually don't listen to music.
Oh.
I actually watch series.
What have you been watching?
Okay, so currently I'm watching Avatar.
The live
but
action
the live
one,
action one.
Right.
I'm still trying to get into it,
Mhm.
but I feel like it's just like very reminiscing. You know,
Right.
just like because growing up, I really loved Avatar. I was kind of like, it was scary at some point because I was like, I'm a waterbender, you know, and I was like, this is kind of like,
Needs to
yeah,
stop.
getting out of hand.
Yeah.
Especially when as a kid when there's like a lot of air or like wind.
Mhm.
And then the
The
leaves
leaves
on
do
the
like the little-
exactly.
yeah.
I was like, oh my god, is it happening? But yeah. But I really like that, and
Mhm.
I like to watch a lot of action movies. I think, kind of, yeah.
What have you been? What's one that you would? What's an underrated action movie you think?
Oh, okay. I'm gonna just say one series that I feel like everyone should watch,
Okay.
or two actually.
Mhm.
Sense8. If you don't know it, get into it.
Is that the one where people are connected over?
Exactly.
Okay, right. I need
And that to
retry
me is
watching it.
just the concept. What?
Cool. The editing in that show is crazy as well. Like
Exactly.
being able to pull off the like physical connection things
Exactly.
is crazy to me.
Exactly. I was
Yeah.
like, oh my God, we are all connected, you know?
Yeah.
And then one thing is the OA. OA? Yeah.
Yeah, that's a
Mm.
weird. It's a weird show,
I
definitely, and it
know.
gets weirder as well. Because the
Yeah.
I was watching it with my mum,
Mm-hmm.
and the first season you're like, oh, this is like
Yeah. Like,
interesting kind of sci-fi, and then there's like a sexual octopus scene in the third season. I was there with my mom, like this show really changed.
Yeah. It definitely did.
Yeah.
But I feel like the first season really got me there. I
Yeah.
was like, girl,
First season
what?
was really good.
And when I found out that the main actress was actually writing the whole
Oh.
script, yes, that made it more like, girl, what?
Yeah.
You know? But that was really cool.
It's an interesting show.
Very inspiring
Yeah.
in some way. Yeah.
What was the question? Oh, underrated action. Underrated action. Is it shows you mostly watch or movies as well?
So I like shows because I have more time. Like I have more time to connect with the
Mhm.
characters. But if it's a good movie, then it's a good movie. You
Yeah.
know?
This is with Anton as well, rewatching Planet of the Apes, which is, they are such incredible movies. Like
I haven't watched them.
so it's like there's older ones and then there's the newer ones that came out, and I remember watching them in cinemas and being like, oh, cool movie.
Mhm.
But then rewatching it, they are very, very well done. So in
Okay.
terms of like action, kind of science fiction leaning with, well, Sense8 definitely sci-fi, and then OA maybe.
Mm.
Yeah.
What was
would be
it
my
called?
Planet of the Apes.
Planet Earth the Apes. Okay.
Planet of the Apes.
Planet of the Apes.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
based on a series and then a movie from like the 70s or 80s, which looking back on it's crazy because it's just the actors are just like in monkey outfits.
Okay.
But the new series are like a prequel series where they follow the story of basically apes taking over the world.
Okay.
Which sounds kind of goofy. Well, it is kind of goofy, but it's very cool as well.
Yeah, but concepts, baby. We all live for the concepts.
Yeah. Do you have any interest in getting into writing for series or directing or anything like that?
That is
acting?
crazy that you're saying these things because I'm like, have you been watching my life? Like, what's going on?
No, but for series.
I mean, okay, so when I was younger, I was not really good in school because I was so bored every time. And I was quite lazy, actually. And so I would get like bad grades because I wouldn't like really study. But I would be like good in class because I'm like, all right, yes, you know, like always. So at some
just
point,
naturally smart.
I wouldn't. No, that's not how I say it. But I feel like, you know, it's like if the class is like really interesting, then I just genuinely cannot help myself but to interact and you know. But I was really lazy. Like I was like off school, I'm at home, I'm gonna just sing, I'm gonna watch, you know, I'm not gonna do homework. Like what? And then my mom was like, you are so lazy. So every time when you get home, you have to study at least 1 hour. So there was like no exception. Even the beginning of school, I was like, Mom, there's nothing to study. Like literally, we're just like talking about the materials you got to get for school. What should I do for 1 hour? So what I would do is I would just like start like coming up with like like a series. So I would write like a script for like a series when I was, I don't know, like 14 years old or something. Because I just loved it. I don't know. I just also like acting. There was also a time where I wanted to be an actor because, going through puberty, and so I wasn't able to sing anymore at some point.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, I was devastated. I said, my life doesn't make any sense. And then I was just like, then let me be an actor.
Yeah.
And so I started to just write music, like write concepts and do stuff. And and then I started like really taking it serious as well. And I started writing these scripts and pretended to just to study.
Yeah.
And and now actually I like them. I like it. Like I would probably rework some bits of it because but the storyline was really good.
Cool.
Yeah.
When you had the like puberty time where you couldn't sing really, did you change to other stuff musically as well, playing instruments, or was it kind of like, I think this is maybe something that I can't do right now because the natural part's gone?
I think it was more of a damn, okay. Because singing for me was like the main thing. I don't know. It was just this feeling. It wasn't even like, okay, I'm singing because of music. It's like I'm singing because I need to express myself.
Yeah.
And the moment I wasn't able to express myself the way I usually do, it was very devastating.
Yeah.
Because I was like, now when I sing, it doesn't sound good anymore, you know?
Yeah. Especially at a time where you have a lot more emotions to deal with and try to express.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And like when I was younger, I could go really high. So I would just really sing in my high registered voice. So then when my voice was lower, I was like, does that even sound good? Like, how can I, and like trying to control it and like getting into just feeling my voice again. So yeah, I was like a little like,
yeah.
But then when I kind of got back into it, and I also got more into songwriting after this, because I was like, okay, I may not have the range, but then let me just get these YouTube type beats and just write stuff on it that is in my range. You know, I think that's actually that was a perfect time, because then I tapped into songwriting way more, because I was like, okay, now I cannot do these covers anymore because my range.
Yeah.
So I was like, let me write songs that are perfect for my voice. That was actually the initial like motivation behind songwriting.
Yeah. Do you remember the album or artist that was the first thing where you were like, this is incredible songwriting, and now I kind of like understand songwriting is this whole other thing that you can just focus on?
The Miseducation of Lauryn Hill.
Oh, right.
This album, till this day. Yeah.
Was that something you got from your mom or from friends, or you found and it was kind of your own thing?
It was my own thing.
Do you remember the first thing that was your own thing, that wasn't just your mom's music?
I would say that, the Miseducation of Lauryn Hill.
Right.
Because so I watched Sister Act 2, and I felt like I already heard some snippets of Lauryn Hill, but like Ready or Not. But I didn't, there was the Fugees, but I didn't know that it was her. So when I watched Sister Act 2, I saw her and I was mesmerized. Like somehow the way she was acting and the way she was singing, I connected to her so deeply. And then I just was like trying to figure out who she was. I was like, who's this girl from Sister Act 2? Like, and then I Googled her and I realized it's Lauryn Hill. And then I realized she's making music. Like she's actually an artist, not just an actor or actress. And then I was like, ooh, okay, let me get into it. And then when I heard the album, I was really like, I was blown away, because the album is a concept. And then it was just, the music is just so great, and the lyrical content and the delivery, everything was just like
amazingly put together.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know, and that inspired me for sure. Also, like Lauryn Hill literally is so amazing, and she did this unplugged version for MTV, which was like his second album type of.
Yeah.
And that to me is also lyrically, like, she's a poem playing on guitar. That to me, that was what this unplugged meant to me.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah.
Do you think when you did Dudes with Roots and you did an unplugged set, is that something you think about a lot, of like unplugged being something in your brain that's important to you?
Yes. And I didn't notice that at first, but when I did the unplugged thing, I was quite nervous actually, because my voice wasn't doing what it usually does.
Yeah.
So when I was playing with Johnny Kulo, we were practicing, and then I literally had to tell him like, "Yo, we have to transpose the songs lower. My voice is not going there." And so I was really nervous because I was like, "Okay, this is like last minute changes and everything," and like also because when you have a mic, I don't know, things kind of, you have more room to play.
Yeah.
And it's also if you have a whole production in the background, you know, you can dance and the song can still play. But this was like guitar, you, people in the room, nothing else. But that is where the beauty comes in, because I think my last song that I played in that set, it was like very emotional to me. Like that was the first time I actually cried during a performance. It was really like, I was like, oh my God, why am I crying? Because it was like I was hearing the people singing my song for the first time, like really singing it.
Yeah.
And then I was like, I opened my eyes and I looked around and I see like a couple of people crying. And to me, it just triggered something. And like, I don't know, it gave me like this whole, like, I'm meant to be here and the hard work paid off, because they were singing along. I don't know. To me, that was like, wow.
Oh, that's a big deal as well, where it's like, especially with something like that, where it's attached to an initiative. So there's kind of an expectation that the crowd maybe isn't entirely here for you.
Yeah.
But then still having that, it like means a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh my God, more of that, please. Yeah.
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 Nice. Well, we're coming towards the end. I have here 5 quick fire questions. So it doesn't really matter what you say, but try to say it fast.
Oh my God, okay.
What's a fashion trend you want to see come up in 2024?
Oh my God. Okay, actually, I don't want to see any fashion trends. I just want to be like, you know what? Just go and wear whatever you want. Honestly, like, but I do want to see more color.
Nice.
In general.
How much do you think you spend on clothes each month?
Okay. Okay, I'm actually lucky.
It's a bit, first of all, business expense. So it's okay.
Right, that's actually true. Me and my tax accountant, the moment I found out, she was like, "No, you can put it on your taxes." I said, "Girl, you shouldn't have said that." But I'm quite lucky actually, because I'm working with Zalando. So right now, every month, I have the opportunity to actually like get clothes for free.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so that's really cool.
Yeah.
But then I kind of buy stuff for myself that is a bit more like, where I'm like, ooh, this is what I've always wanted. So I'm gonna like, if I buy something, I make sure it's really like a strong piece.
Question 3, do you have a favorite piece right now?
Of clothing?
Yep.
I actually love the shoes that I'm currently wearing.
Nice.
And I just ordered like really nice pants from this Asian designer. And it took really long for it to arrive, but it's worth it.
Nice. What's your favorite lyric you've written?
Oh my God. Okay, so that's a hard one, because I've written so much lyric. But currently, like, from the songs that I'm planning to release, I must say Nothing to Lose, like the lyrical content in general, like the whole block of like bars, I really like, because it's very simple and says a lot. It says like, I got nothing to lose, I got nothing to lose. I got no time to be shy, let's be honest. I do my thing, yeah, regardless if you gossip. What I desire comes alive, I manifest it. I won't compromise, this is who I am, and that's my magic. I feel like it's very storytelling, but also very like, period, you know? This is who I am, that's what I'm saying, and yeah.
Yeah. Are there any Togolese artists you would recommend to people?
Ooh! Okay. Oh. Okay, so you kind of put me on a spot here, because okay, so the Togolese artists that I used to listen to growing up was like Too Fun,
right?
And they're kind of iconic, you know. So definitely like go back to the archives and pull that out for cultural reference. But I don't know her name, but I remember driving to church, and on our way there, we would always listen to this one CD record that my mom would just like like, you know. And there's this one really beautiful song. I don't know her name, but that always like struck a chord in my heart. And I don't even know the name.
Can you sing a bit of it? Maybe we can find someone who
Oh
knows
my
it.
God.
You don't have to at all.
All right.
Don't feel pressure.
Oh my God. Okay. Yeah, my way. Me la si me vai honamdo aunye de la. Yeah, my way. Me la si me vai honamdo. Na 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 na. I don't even remember
Well,
the
if
lyrics.
people know what it is,
Yeah.
comment
Oh
it.
my
We can
God.
try to
I
find
butchered the lyrics. I'm like, oh my God.
It's fine.
I feel like when I speak Togolese, it's because it's like I'm still German in a way, like, you know?
Yeah.
So it's like hard to get the accent out. And like the Togolese language is very much like you have a melody that comes with it.
Right.
And in German, there's also a melody. So when I speak Togolese, the melody is the German one. So it sounds really...
No, it makes sense.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But hey, I hope my mama doesn't see this because she will laugh at me. She's gonna be like, "What?" But it's okay.
Yeah, cool. Well, that's all of the quickfire questions. Where can people find you? What do you want to lead them to? Let the people know what's up.
All right. Hey, my name is Blazey. Y'all can find me on Instagram, TikTok, whatever, Spotify, all of it. I have a music coming out, new music. It's called Nothing to Lose, coming very soon, or it might be out already by this time. And yeah, just check it out and get inspired.
Awesome. Thank you very much for coming.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you to our sponsors. And awesome.
Who's your sponsor?
There's one called Soundplate, which is like a landing page for links. So it's similar to Linktree, but basically you'll put in your stuff and then you can also have like an add to playlist button, which is nice. And then you get better analytics than similar sites for free, which is nice. And then another one, which isn't 100% confirmed, so we'll hopefully not have to take this out, but is 12 by 12, which is a company that will advance you your gamer royalties based on previous years. So it'll give it to you the year ahead of time, so you don't have to wait. And yeah, they're an official gamer partner, which is really exciting for us to be like, oh, it's kind of official.
Yeah.
But yeah.
That's good. I might have to go back on the first one because I might need that link very soon.
Well, if you do, follow our affiliate link.
All right. Add to playlist, baby.
Awesome. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you for having me.